How we doing, gamers? Welcome back to another episode of the Birchlands. It's been a good minute since I've been here, that's for sure. Anyways, last time the goal was to work towards expanding the quote-unquote base in the desert nether that's right above the stronghold. Basically, I dug a huge trench going all the way down to one of the shafts of stairs down there, one of the spiraling staircases. Completely got rid of the thing and then replaced it with a ladder going all the way up to the surface. And that's just sort of where we left it off. It's literally just this hole. Not very good. Not very good at all, because that's kind of, a falling hazard, not gonna lie there. So, today we're going to officially complete that little building, and then we're gonna be doing something bold in the very near future. So, recently, in my personal world, basically 1.18 survival experiment, I've kind of been thinking about changing the name of that world. Not really sure what I want to do for that, but I just think 1.18 survival experiment, it's just not very good. I didn't expect the world to last nearly as long as it has, quite frankly, so yeah, I'll keep you updated on that, but basically, I finally killed the Ender Dragon in that world. Here's some footage of that on screen right now. But basically, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And quite frankly, I think I really over-prepared for this. I think we'll be just fine. Like, with this diamond armor right here, maybe we could put some feather falling on the boots. But other than that, I think we could be quite alright. As long as we don't get hit too many times. I am a little bit worried about the durability on here. I wouldn't like to lose those, so not to disappoint anyone, but working on this spare set of armor is going to be kind of put on the back burner. It's already kind of been on the back burner, not gonna lie, but now it's really going on the back burner, so yeah, not the most important thing in the world. I do have a spare set of armor that I am working on in the other world that I just mentioned, and it's a set of iron armor. I particularly like iron armor when it's enchanted. It looks really cool. Love that purple glow it gives off, but yeah, we're gonna head right on over there. Also, I'm not really too sure if anyone caught this in the previous episode, but I said we could do an ice highway over there, despite ice not generating anywhere in this world. So yeah, that's not going to be much of an option there, but what is an option is making a soul speed tunnel, or maybe just flying over there using the elytra. That's kind of why I want to kill the dragon. It's so that way we can get that elytra and we can just fly around. I should probably get working on some firework rockets, actually. I don't know how many of those we have lying around. I feel like I might have a couple lying around somewhere in here, but yeah, so plans have changed. That's the main point right here, but we're gonna get into the action of this episode real quick. Anyways, after the dragon fight, I am thinking that we are gonna come back here for a little bit, because as you can see, right here, we've got like this whole area of just nothing right here, except for these trees. I don't really like all this podzol on the ground, so what I was thinking we'd do is we'd completely remaster the animal farms. So basically, I think we were going to just take these two farms right here, the sheep enclosure and the cow enclosure. We're going to get rid of both of those and move them over here pretty much. It's going to be pretty good because you really don't need all that space. I really overcompensated over there, so we're going to fix that. I don't want all this spruce wood, though, for the enclosure. We'll probably replace it with jungle wood. I'm not really sure if this is a controversial opinion or not, but I think jungle wood is actually one of my favorite woods in this whole entire game. Cancel me if you want, but I think it would be really fun to join it up with the rabbit enclosure right here, which has been seeing a lot of growth lately. We are going to need some sweeping edge on the sword right here. Because apparently, I did some testing. I harvested it, expecting like to be able to kill multiple rabbits with one swipe, and that really didn't happen. So we're gonna have to get on that sweeping edge at some point. In fact, maybe we can get on that right now. Maybe, I don't know. I'll figure that out. It will sometime soon. First things first, we're gonna get ourselves some building materials. Most of that will actually be stone bricks, because that's what the thing is already made of. We obviously want the thing to, match up. And luckily, I think I've got a few of those lying around if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong there. But here's something else we're gonna need, jungle logs. We're gonna use those to craft up some planks. That's gonna basically be the wood for this build. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, so not quite as many stone bricks as I thought, but it's fine, it's fine. There's a lot of cobblestone in there, which we can easily turn into stone bricks. Just gonna be like a minor setback, we just gotta wait for these things to smelt up. While that's cooking, I'm just gonna breed up some rabbits real quick. We've got quite a population going down here. Hopefully none of them died at entity cramming. That is a possibility, and if that is a possibility, they will die instantly. And they tend to do it in corners, I've found. Like, Probably right here is where they're all going to be dying the most. And right here, too. That's a pretty sharp corner right there. They're all running there. And, yeah, not a very pleasant sight to see. It would be cool, though, if, you know, there was, like, a farm you could build. I think there actually might be, where, like, it manipulates entity cramming, and then it makes all the rabbits die in one spot, which just so happens to be above a hopper minecart, which then transports all the goods down into a chest. I think that would be pretty cool. Doesn't look like we have a whole lot of night vision potions in here too, so I am going to fix that real quick with our one brewing stand right here, because I do need to keep those chunks over there loaded in order for, you know, the stone to smelt. And now, after a very long time, we are officially down to the last 3 night vision potions. These ones we're going to keep with us because if it's very, very dark in the surface nether, that's for sure. Very hard to navigate around there, and you also got a lot of caves to worry about. Very, very deep caves. Now I'm gonna go check on how the cobblestone is doing. Hopefully that's all smelted up. But yeah, that was a real time killer right there, not gonna lie. And it looks like, yes, we are all set. So now it is time to get to a more interesting part of this video. Now for other materials, we're gonna take along some glass. We sure do have a lot of it, and I sure do love using it, that's for sure. Look at all this glass right here. We should probably actually trade some of this, you know, get a new cartographer at some point. And, yeah, you know, they take glass panes and everything. That's a really good trade. Speaking of glass panes, we're actually going to craft some. We're not actually going to be doing, like, crazy big windows on this build. Or will we? You know, that actually kind of wouldn't be a bad idea. I know, I really, really love just the crazy style of building. Like, I'll go show you a prime example of it. This right here, this beautiful building right here, I love this building right here. As you can see, we've got very big windows. It even is so big, it makes up part of the roof. It's amazing. Hello, Iron Golem. You look like you've seen better days. But, yeah, big, big windows right here. Absolutely love the futuristic style. And, you know, you got some depth here, too, with the logs, or the wood. What am I saying? Yeah, cool stuff right here, but I'm not really sure if that'll actually fit the vibe that we're going for with this specific build, because this is the entrance to a stronghold. I just really don't think that would make a whole lot of sense with this one. We're also headed towards the wrong portal. That's a desert nether portal, and technically we could use it, but that's going to be a very, very long journey that I don't feel like taking. Not saying that the one through the surface nether is much of an improvement, but it's technically faster, technically twice as fast. Assuming I don't get lost, which I do tend to do. You know, it really sucks that bundles aren't in this update. This is 1.17, for those of you who don't know. Before bundles and everything. I think they might technically be in the game's code, but they don't, you know, they're not in the actual game itself. We could totally use one right now, not gonna lie, you know, because we got food on the ground here. I'd kind of like to keep, we're actually kind of running a little bit low on food, so that might actually be wise to scoop that up. So what we'll do is we'll just pick it up, and then I reckon we can just craft a furnace when we get back into the overworld. Or the desert nether too, that'll work. We get some fuel and just cook it up, and that's our food basically. Hoglins, they're kind of a good source of food, not gonna lie. And most of the time, when I kill them, I don't actually go out of my way to farm them at all. It's just because, you know, they're trying to mess with me. They're trying to take me down. And I kill them, and they drop good stuff for me. They drop a lot of good stuff for me, and it ends up being a little bit of a food source. As you can see, we got 22 from that. That's gonna be more hunger points than this 13 cooked rabbit. More saturation as well. And here we are, the little job site we've got going here. We've got some very interesting terrain here. It's on a little bit of a hill. That could be a little bit of a problem, but it's not the biggest deal in the world, I suppose. I mean, yeah, okay. We might have to do a little bit of terraforming around here, but I reckon this should be completely okay. We're going to get rid of these blocks right here, and we'll go from there, I guess. So what I'm going to do is we're first going to remove the top layer of the stone brick right here. Maybe we could actually remove a couple more layers of it too. That would probably help because, you know, it is on a hill. We could remove the hill completely, but that's going to... We're kind of balling on limited inventory space here. So you know what? I'm going to fix that real quick. We're going to take some of our jungle logs here and we're going to make a chest with them. Just like that, we've now got additional storage. So we're going to throw some of our glass in here. That's probably the thing taking up the most space. I also got to craft that furnace too. We should get on that. Where's the nearest cave? There's the nearest cave. Let's dive on in there. Just grab some stone real quick. They'll be just like the origins of every Minecraft world. You know, just scraping up some cobblestone to get the furnace. There's our fuel. Very nice. We'll take this coal right here. Any more coal? Looks like we've got a very big cave down there. I see some more coal. I see redstone. I see iron. I see soul sand. I see a creeper. Not very good, but I like all those other things. We'll have to go down there sometime. That looks like a really good cave. That's what I really like about this whole dimension, the way I modified it. This is technically in the game's code, the Nether. You can see it on the debug screen right there, basically. Basically, I completely overhauled it, made it very similar to the overworld, and cut a lot of the Nether aspects out, so I had to go back in a later update to this data pack and add in, like, the soul sand and everything, so that way you could actually access that. But anyways, we'll throw our pork chops in there, and we'll get to work. So I'm gonna remove a couple more layers of this. Rest in peace, staircase. You know, I might just do away with the staircase completely, not gonna lie. And we'll do like a bubble column, because those are actually a lot easier to make than I previously thought. A lot less of a strain on my head. I'm just gonna be completely real with you guys for a second. The reason why, at least in my opinion, a lot of the things we do on this channel are very underwhelming compared to things that other YouTubers would do, or I don't really consider myself a YouTuber, you know. I'm not doing this as a job or anything, you know. I'm just doing this because I feel like it, and I've already invested a lot of money into, you know, upping the quality of the videos and everything. It overall just really makes me happy, but anyways, I'm going a little bit off topic. The reason why I don't do like all these crazy stunts in Minecraft, like surviving 100 days in Minecraft hardcore, is because I just feel like that would be a little bit of a strain on my head a little bit. Probably wouldn't be very good, you know, just to be under all that stress, because I am the biggest one-man job on this channel. This channel, it's always been run by no one but me. And with that, I've got to worry about the video quality while also playing the game here. I've had a lot of problems with the videos over time, and I've really just been dumping a lot of my time into like fixing them. There are probably still a lot of problems with this video that are very subtle. Like, it's obviously still watchable and everything, but like, it just really, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to just sleep at night, I guess. That just as an expression. I think I sleep relatively fine at night, but, you know, it just kind of like keeps me awake, I guess. We'll use that expression. And it lingers. It sticks with me, okay? It doesn't leave until, you know, I fix it. So, yeah, that's what I continue to do, and that's why I don't want to be like fixing all these problems while also worrying about, you know, making sure the video is like as crazy as possible, you know, because like that I think would just be a lot. I think that would just be like a huge headache for me. But anyways, looks like we got a little bit of a problem here. Obviously this staircase is very, very tight. We can't jump here. You couldn't get like a wither skeleton or an enderman down here. There's not a lot of headroom. And what I am worried about is if we bring the stairs up one more block and then put a little bit of a platform right here for the door, or what could be the top floor. Maybe we should expand it out. That would probably be better, but I'm just worried there's going to be, like, no space to walk. Like, you can't get up the thing because the roof is too low. So we're going to eliminate this top layer completely, and then we're going to replace it with the jungle planks. And I reckon that should be okay, because, you know, the staircase, there won't be anything really to worry about there and everything. We can just sort of make it end, I guess. Like right at the top here, but we can't cover this area up because that's kind of important, you know, for the roof and everything. We got to be able to get up and down this thing. I know it's only going to be here for like an episode, maybe 2, maybe 3 actually, but this is going to probably be a priority of mine, removing this staircase. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to do this, but yeah, we'll do a little something like this right here. And that works, but I don't like how the stair just goes right into the wall right here. Although I guess that doesn't really mean much of anything because we are expanding this a little bit, so I'll keep it. It just feels a little bit weird, you know? I'm not used to doing it. And my, it appears the food is done. Let's go. I've been waiting for that forever. It's yummers. I love it. Very nice. Alright, so I reckon we'll put the entrance right here. It'll just be a single door. Nothing too fancy right there. We'll make the walls out of the stone brick, and it'll just sort of be like a little bit of a building right on out here. Pretty standard. Obviously, I'm gonna have like some depth to it. We'll work that in. But other than that, it's mainly going to look a lot like the things I used to build way back in the day, like years ago and everything. I remember building this like large stone brick building in multiple worlds, actually. I built a lot of stone brick buildings. It was just all stone brick and maybe smooth stone for the floor on the inside. So that's kind of what we're going for with this. Nothing too crazy. So that's what it's going to look like for the floor plan right there. We're going to have to get rid of this floating tree at some point. But then we'll bring the walls up, and I reckon we can just do windows like right here. That's perfect, actually. That lines up very nicely because it gives the door some space. And then it also, you know, it's also a window. You've got enough space right here, so it's not like right at the corner. The windows never look good when you do them right at the corner. I feel like that's a big mistake people make when they build stuff and everything. They just put the windows like right at the corner, and you don't really give any space like right here. And overall, it just doesn't look very good. So I'm glad we were able to get that in and everything. I'm not really sure what to do here, but am I? Yes, that'll work right there, right? Yeah. Alright, there we go. And then I reckon we can just slide the glass panes right on in here, and it looks very, very nice. But it won't be complete. We still gotta do some work on the outside and potentially on the inside too. And then we gotta build the roof, which is gonna be a little bit fancy. Alright, next we're gonna bring this wall up 2 blocks on all sides. Give some space on the inside. And now it is time for the roof, which is gonna be something we've all seen before in Minecraft and something that I don't typically build. And that is going to be a slanted roof. I know, pretty crazy, isn't it? I don't really like building these because sometimes they're a little bit annoying with how you gotta position the stair blocks and everything, but I reckon we can do it, no doubt. First things first, I'm going to continue to bring the walls up a little bit in a staircase formation, just like this. Now it's really starting to come together. And there we go, it is officially complete. Let's take a look at it. I think it looks pretty good. I like it. Really like the little stripe of stone bricks we did up there with the stairs and everything. Oh wait, we forgot to do this side too. That looks hideous on this side. Oh man, alright. Good thing I caught that. Did I do the other side? Oh, I did. See, this is what it's supposed to look like on the other side right there. Yeah, hold on a second. Alright, now it is done for real this time. I think it looks pretty good. Again, big shock, I know. Seems to be a little bit empty right up there, though, not gonna lie, but, what could we do? I guess we could put another window, maybe, if we got rid of this, log right here. Maybe this whole... See, actually, you know what? Let's just have a pole in the center that goes all the way up to the top, so that way we can put torches on it. And now it is truly complete. It doesn't look like the lighting situation here is going to be all that hard either. So this is what we got right here. This is the inside. We got the outside right here. I gotta add the door. We probably don't want just, you know, who knows what, just wandering on in here. So we'll add the door real quick. And then after that, it'll be truly, truly, truly complete and whatnot and all that cool stuff. So there we go. There's our little entrance to the stronghold. As you can see, it's pretty swell. It's an entrance to the stronghold that's disguised as a normal everyday house. The staircase is totally a secret. You know, you just walk in, you don't see the staircase at all. You wonder, what is that in the floor? It must not be a staircase. So, yeah, very nice stuff right here. We should probably maybe fence this off, perhaps. I don't know. Do you think that's really necessary? Probably not. I mean, it's going to be a little bit off-center too, like the gate and everything, with this ending right here. So probably not. I guess we can cover it up just a little bit more, just those 2 blocks right there. And that'll be sorted then. You know what we could do, actually, to make it just a tiny bit more secret? Do we have any sticks lying around? We don't. But we can craft some. What we can do is we can take a ladder and have a trapdoor on top of that. And then, that will be the quote-unquote secret entrance to the stronghold and whatnot. And that'll be nice. We'll hide it right behind the pole right here. So there you go. You walk into the house not suspecting anything, and you ignore the trapdoor, and as you can see, it goes down into this staircase area, which goes all the way down to the stronghold. Of course, we're gonna probably get rid of this trapdoor when we insert the bubble columns in here, but yeah. That's that, basically. Very, very nice. Love to see it. Now it is time to head home. Except maybe we should probably take this stuff, perhaps. Maybe when we've got more of like a full inventory, or a less full inventory, I should say. The creeper almost took care of it right there, that's for sure. Yeah, that's gonna stay there for a little while now, because I need to clear this inventory out. What I think we're gonna do next is we're gonna get the Sweeping Edge Villager. As I said earlier that I wanted to do at the start of this video, but at the moment I was recording, I just really got like very demotivated in the span of like a couple seconds. What I'm currently doing right now is I'm making sure we're not gonna have another guy who has this. I might be a little bit of a risky bet with the looting guy over here. So what I think I'll do actually is I'll spend some emeralds to buy his bookshelves, level him up again, and then we'll see if he has the trade, because he could have the trade, and I'm trying to save as much space in this building as possible if you haven't been watching the videos. So we basically are going to be balling on villagers with multiple trades that we need, and what I've found recently is that the better the first trade is, typically the better the other trades are too. It's not always the case, but most of the time it is. I really showed it off in a previous episode that I can't be bothered to remember right now, but important thing is that I think Sweeping Edge could potentially wind up on that looting villager, and if we have two villagers with the same enchantment, it's going to be a real waste of space, which sucks. Like, I know we've got like a lot of stalls here for the villagers to live in and everything. There's a skeleton right there. How dare you attack my villagers? Stop scaring them. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying to save stalls here for the good stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna burn some money real quick. And what's your second trade, buddy? Let's see it. Last protection 1. Okay, I don't think this guy's gonna have what we want, but just to be sure, I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of your lanterns as well. Third enchantment, let's see. Fortune 3, that's actually a repeating one. That's repeated a couple times, I think, in here. Yes, there's our Fortune 3 guy, our third, I think, Fortune 3 guy. I'm gonna buy your glass, and then we'll see. This could be the last level you offer an enchanted book, so let's see. Flame, that's a good one. That's a good one right there. That's not what we need, but that could be useful in the future. We're gonna have to get ourselves a new villager, it looks like, but it looks like we got ourselves some flame right there too. This guy has punch, so we could combine those two to get punch 2 on the bow, theoretically. Sucks that you can't do that on crossbows, though. I think the crossbow just kind of like got a little bit ignored a little bit, I think, maybe. I really think you should be able to put like certain bow enchantments, besides just like unbreaking and mending, which are something you can put on basically everything. It would be cool to be able to have like power on the crossbow. That would be cool. I'd be a fan of that. Really disappointed that really isn't the case. But anyways, we're going to need ourselves a lectern. We're going to actually craft one up right now with the bookshelves we just got. We'll take that. And now it is time to lure in the villager. After I set my stuff down. Villager, 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 come on over here, get your free job, anyone. Do we have any unemployed dudes walking around? I don't think we have as many as we used to. That's gonna be a little bit of a problem if there's no guy in here that's not employed. Hold on, we got a child over there. That guy could theoretically grow up and become our next librarian. No villagers other than you to be seen around here, though. Sometimes they might get stuck because their AI isn't all that good in, like, the buildings and everything. So, that is always a possibility. They've got a cat walking around there, too. I should probably tame that thing at some point. But, yeah, it does not look like we have a single unemployed villager here. That is a huge oof. Do we have any, actually, level 1ers walking around here, too? Because that's another problem I've been having with the villagers. Sometimes they think workstations are unclaimed, and then they claim a workstation that actually belongs to another villager, and then said villager just does nothing, basically. We have a master level that can't restock, just walking around here. I do see you. Where's your workstation at? Probably over here, if I had to guess. So you know what? We'll start breaking things over here, and see if a random unemployed guy just randomly pops into existence. So far, I'm not seeing anything, but you know, we can try this other one right on over here. Still nothing, it looks like. Yeah, they're all headed to bed now, so we're gonna have to hold off on the enchantments yet again. I'm sorry I keep disappointing you guys. We'll get Sweeping Edge at some point, I promise. Hopefully soon, because I do need that enchantment for the rabbits. That would be extremely helpful in racking up XP levels. But yeah, sadly, this is gonna have to be thrown into the building right here. Hopefully I'll remember that that's there. Anyways, that's all I've really got for you today. If you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the usual things, as I always say. First Birchlands episode in a little while. Took a little bit of a break to, you know, play some other games as well. I'll probably make a video sometime in the future if I haven't already, you know, addressing like this and everything, I guess. It's kind of worth talking about in my opinion. I kind of just need to talk about it, you know, document it at some point. But anyways, hopefully I already did that, although probably not. It'll probably be coming real soon, hopefully by the end of this month. See you around. We're going to do something a little bit bold next episode. It's going to be a little bit crazy. I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for it, that's for sure.